Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nikisha Lupka and I share faith-based and personal development content. So today I thought I'd come back to share more, to share more tips and just to have a conversation on ESL coaching, okay? So basically, I truly believe that whenever people talk, most people that I've heard talking about ESL coaching, they're always trying to sell you dreams, Does sound like such an amazing job, of which it is. But today, my point of this video is just focusing more on the cons, okay? The things that people don't really talk about when it comes to ESL coaching, okay? So, yeah. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please take a moment to subscribe. And if you are coming back over and over again, thank you so much for coming back to my channel and just engaging with my videos. It means a lot to me, guys. Like, in any case, let's start and let's look at the cons and the things that you need to take into perspective before you even start applying for this job. Or even if you applied already and you're in the process, please take these things into consideration, okay? So, for number one, guys, to get into this industry can sometimes be extremely frustrating, okay? There's times where you will fit all the requirements that they're looking for on their requirement list, okay, for the job. But you go ahead with the interview, you do everything, and you feel like you killed it, and then you don't get the job. Okay, whether you had experience or whether you're somebody who's just trying it out for the first time with absolutely no experience, this can happen to you. But understand that this industry is just one of those that can kind of be tricky to get into. You feel like you're flowing and you got it all, you all your ducks in a row, and then you don't get it. It's natural. It happens to the best of us. Currently, the job that I have now is a job that it's a company that I've always wanted to work for. I've always wanted to work for Thailand, okay, for Thai people. And I've been working for them from 2020 April, just when COVID started and stuff. So yeah, and I applied twice and I did 2 interviews and I did not get the job. And the best part of that was that I didn't even know why. Like, after the interview, they don't tell you, Nikisha, it's your accent, maybe you should tone it down. No, they leave you just there. Like, you just don't get a response, or they say, unfortunately, unsuccessful. And then you're sitting like, okay, so what do I need to do? But the only thing you need to do is to be resilient and to go back after 3 months, 4 months after the year, you go back and you apply. I must be honest, I was extremely discouraged. I was like, I'm not gonna apply again. These people, they don't like me. I don't know what's the problem. And then, like, one of my friends or my sister, like, just try. You never know. Just try again. And I did, and I ended up working. And for me, it fell so well in my favor. God's plan. It felt like great in my favor because it was during, like, COVID just started. So it was like, okay, at least I'm getting another job at home and I don't have to leave my house. And it's like, I'm still on the payroll. People were out here like losing their jobs and I just started working. So I really counted myself blessed at the time, still do now. But like I'm saying, everything is about timing and, pray about it. And when it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But you just cannot give up. Don't give up. Get discouraged. Feel your feelings. But just don't throw in the towel. Quitting is never an option. So that's just the first thing. Getting frustrated is a part of the process. Do not feel like you are not good enough, because there's people out here with like years of experience like myself, and we're still out here getting turned down in interviews. And then I know people that probably I can walk through or talk through the process, and they're actually getting the job first time, So you never quite know exactly what it is, as much as you can have all your ducks in a row or be a beginner and not know anything at all and walk into the job, you just never know what really, it is that they're actually looking for beyond, what they're actually asking for in writing. So just don't lose courage. Don't be discouraged, sorry. So the next thing you need to take into consideration is the time zone of the company that you are applying for. Basically, if you're applying for a company, you want to make sure that the time, their availability and the time corresponds with your free time that you have to actually teach and do the job. Depending whether you're doing this on a full-time basis and you will be available all day and all night, and you don't have any kids and all of those other things. You really need to take that into consideration, that is their availability. So if, for example, you're going to be doing this as a part-time, you want to make sure that, hey, when I'm at work during the day, that can't be their peak hours where, they need me to be teaching at that time. Okay, so you want to apply for companies that have the availability or the peak teaching hours that are in the evening or in the middle of the night, basically like from 12 a.m. and early parts of the morning in South Africa. Okay, so please take the time zone of the country that you're applying into account. Okay, and then the next thing you want to take into account, guys, this job is like running a business. You've got to have some sort of business mindset. Okay, and why I say business is because no work, no pay. And it's like somebody running a business. If you don't go out and try and sell your products and sit at home and not do anything about it, your products is going to stand. Okay, so you have to sort of have some sort of business mentality when it comes to this job. Okay, so for example, the less lessons that you teach, the less you get paid. The more you work, the more you get paid. Okay, so please take that into account. There's no like sick leave benefits and so on. Basically, what you want to do is, I always tell people, try to create a number that you want to reach. Okay, a number in terms of your income. Okay, so this is how much I'm going to make I desire to make at the end of the month. How many hours do I need to work? And how many hours do I need to work? And then you can structure your life from that. So if this is how many lessons I need to teach and how many hours I need to teach, this is how much time I can take off, and it's not going to cut into my salary. You understand? So try to have some sort of strategy when you are laying out your schedule and so forth. Okay. And then the next one is downtime. So as much as there can be, an influx of your lessons where you're really doing a lot of classes, and we're going to talk about that just now, burnout, sometimes there is definitely downtime. So for example, when kids are on holiday in their country, school holiday, everything's different, obviously, with the country that you're living in and the country you're working for. So when the kids are on school holiday, what happens when they go back to school? They don't really want to, do anything after school. They don't really want to learn online most of the time. So they're going back to school and you do see a decline in your lessons. Don't get nervous or scared. It's just part of online teaching. But the longer you're in the industry, the longer you're working for the school, you can start to learn like, okay, when is the peak time? When is, the time where I face my decline? Learn the company that you're working for so that you can set yourself up for all of these, financial, set yourself up financially and also with your time. Okay. And then the other thing is burnout. Okay. Burnout is a critical thing, and I can tell you why. So, but obviously you get tired, and sometimes your body needs to have a rest. Okay. So back in 2020 is like the perfect example that I can make. Online teachers were at their busiest, okay? Just because everyone was at home trying to learn, and online teaching was just a thing at that time. So we were like so busy, okay? But what comes along with that? Yes, you're calculating the money, you're making more money, and you're so busy. But guys, it's just not healthy because you end up falling asleep in your lessons. It happens, you are dipping in your lessons. Like when I say dipping, I'm meaning like, catching fish is what people call it. So you're not going to come across as professional anymore. You're obviously not giving your best in the classrooms because now you're just like quantity based on, quantity over quality lessons, and that happens. And to give you a quick story about this, I was working for a company called MPC back in 2016, and I used to work in the night shift, and we had lessons like every day, back-to-back lessons we would work. And I was working in the night shift. I would start my shift at 12 o'clock, 12 a.m. and then finish off, I think like my last lesson was like at 7 or something, 7 a.m. And one morning, I'm in a lesson teaching about a boarding pass. Guys, I don't know what, I'm actually research what you call this, but I fell asleep in my lesson with my eyes open. I could hear everything happening around me, but I was completely asleep. And that's my explanation for what happened. So this is what happened. While I'm in the classroom, we're learning about a boarding pass. I'm teaching students about a boarding pass. And there was this list that the student was calling out, telling me about things that he sees at the airport. I can't remember exactly the specifics of what he was saying, but we were learning about a boarding pass and he was calling out things. Now, when you're in a lesson, you obviously type out things that the student says so they can actually get a visual of the word that they are saying. So as he's calling out his answers, here's Miss Keisha typing out, Chase, my son, I'm typing out his little shopping list that I need to do after work. So as the student's calling out departure, arrival, things related to this boarding pass that's on our screen, I'm typing out wet wipes, Kimbies, purity, soap. I was typing, so I was awake. I could, my brain was in another place. I don't know what happened to me at the moment. I think it's something that happens when people that are driving and they fall asleep, behind the wheel. I don't know, but that's what happened to me in that lesson. Thankfully, I just hope that the student didn't notice, but the student was like, coach, and I realized what the heck was going on, and I quickly removed it off the screen, and I, tried to just, help the situation and just try and distract the student to not notice what nonsense I was writing on the screen. And so that was a symptom of a burnout, guys. I was burnt out. I was working every day, night shift. My body wasn't used, obviously, maybe not used of it. And so basically you want to work and put in the extra hours and the extra time, and but you also want to make sure that you're having enough rest. Don't get carried away because you start calculating. It's like a money game. You start calculating, if I work an extra 2 hours, if I wake up 5 o'clock, if I do this, and then you're working and then you're writing your child's grocery list on the screen. Don't do that, child. Just don't. Wow, it was an experience, but anyway, something that I laugh about now. But so burnout is something that you should also take into consideration as well. The next thing is your public holidays. Remember, your South African public holidays and the public holidays that are in the country that you are teaching or working for are not the same. So there's lots of sacrifices that you are going to have to make when it comes to your South African holidays. So a part of the holidays, I must be so honest in saying that weekends are your busiest time when it comes to online teaching. I don't know a school, I don't know, a company where you sit and don't have work on the weekend. When it comes to weekends, that is our busiest time as ESL coaches. And that means that you have to sacrifice, because if that's the busiest time, that's the time you want to make your money, Obviously, if you have something important to do, you can obviously, don't open up those slots for your weekend if you've got important things to do, but you have to learn to sacrifice. So I don't know, maybe you noticed some people, well, especially me, I'll be living my best life on a Monday and a Tuesday, going to lunch with my husband, or I'm going to coffee shops, or I'm going to do my hair, and doing things that I do on the weekend I get to do during the week, because I know on the weekend I'm going to be busy, I'm not leaving the house. Not unless I feel like, you know what, I'm going to go visit maybe my mother, or I'm going to visit my sister, or whatever I'm going to do, I can carry my laptop. I can still put my 2 or 3 hours in, and I'll carry my laptop and I'll just teach, as long as I have like a night, you know, like as long as I have the perfect space to work, a nice quiet space to work, then convenient quiet space to work, then instead of not opening and not working for those 2 or 3 hours, I'll put those hours in, you know, or try to figure out a way to do that before you have your errands to run on the weekend. Like either wake up earlier, or like, for example, I like to wake up your 5 o'clock in the morning lessons, probably from 4 to 6, and then I work those hours, and then you got the whole day, but you know you put in the work for the weekend when it's busy. But ultimately, my point here is saying that the busy times are the weekends, and you got to make some sacrifices. Obviously, depending on your monthly targets for your income and so on. But yeah, then the other thing that I will always mention, because it's just like the most annoying thing to experience, literally, guys, I don't like to use the word hate, because I feel like it's such a strong word. I even teach my kids that word. It's just non-existent. I do not like that word hate. It's a strong feeling to feel. But I must be truly honest in saying that I hate load shedding with everything inside of me. And not just because, you know, we can't do anything, but it's affecting our work. Like these companies that are not out here trying to take SA citizens because, child, we got load shedding, and like, you know, now we not being professional with our job, you know. So basically with load shedding, please take that into consideration before you apply. Know your times, check your schedule, have your backup plans. Baby girl's trying to get in. Now, Mega. Girl. So anyway, yeah, just please take your load shedding times into account. Have all your backup plans. Know what you need to do in those times of load shedding and stuff. So yeah, my baby's crying. I need to attend to her. Okay, shame. No, Emily took her. So in any case, I think she can just hear me. So it's like, oh, mommy's in there, I want to go. So yeah, guys, that's all that I have for this video. But these are just a few things that I really hope you can look at and think about, and just have it like in your, have awareness of this stuff, you know, so that you don't think everything is just all rosy. And, you know, people really do sell you dreams when they tell you about this, but there are like cons to this job, although it is a fantastic job to have. But these are just the things that you want to consider before. Okay, I think I'm rambling now. So let me end this video in saying thank you so much for all those people who've subscribed and keep on coming back. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? You know, you're going to learn something with me, you know. So yeah, until next time, guys, I hope this is informative for you, and I really hope that it helps you. Take notes. Thank you so much for coming. Till next time. Peace.